Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not GomBG1, and you're watching me go from Bellend to Legend on a Devastation Evoker in the War Within Season 2. So what does Bellend to Legend mean? It means 0 to 3k instead of 0 to Hero, which is 0 to 2.5k. Keystone Legend is the new achievement where you reach 3k. It also comes with an extra mount, so to do that we probably need to do about 4 13s, and the rest need to be 12s, and this is if we barely time it. Let's actually take a look. So we have to do, let's say 4 12s. Oh, it looks like I actually have to do more. So I have to do 6 13s and 2 12s, roughly. But let's say we 2-star one of them or something like that. I think I can maybe get away with 3 12s and 5 13s. It depends. I think with this setup, maybe even with just 4x4, we might be able to make it work, depending on if there's any 2 stars. And we also get a tiny little bit more rating than 365 if we time it any time remaining. So if you have 1 second remaining, I think this is the score you get. If you have, like, let's say a minute or 2 remaining, you'll get a good chunk more score, and that'll add up across all of these and maybe close this gap of 20 points. If not, we'll do 5, and then we have 5 points missing. Surely we can scrape together 5 points from having extra minutes remaining within these dungeons. For some of them, it'll be more likely that we have some time remaining than others. Like Dark Flame Cleft, I would not be shocked if I had that as a 2-star. I might actually prefer to do that at a 13 rather than a Cinderbrew Meadery, which is much harder to complete. Or a Priory of Sacred Flame, I'd rather do a Theater of Pain or a Rookery at 13 than a Priory of Sacred Flame at 13. So I might move some of these 13s around. Again, we'll see how it ends up. Right now, what we're trying to do is get some more gear, because I'm at 639. I don't have tier set. I still have pretty much the entire raid left. I did the first boss, and then the raid fell apart during the stream, during the gearing stream. So I need to go back into the raid and do that. I also have the ability to do 4 more delves. 5, actually, but today there's only 4, obviously. There's always only 4 bountiful delves, so today I can only do 4. So we're going to go do those really quick. I'm not really going to show you any delve gameplay. Who cares, right? It's me getting punched in the face. Ooh, some people might enjoy that. I don't. And I don't mean delves. I mean me getting punched in the face. Some people might enjoy to see that. I don't. Okay, so as far as the build we're doing, we are going for the Flame Shaper build, the Firestorm spam build. It is super fun. I've taken a look at some guides. I've adjusted my, what are they called? WeakAuras. I've done all sorts of things. So now I feel a little bit more prepared in doing what I need to do. I understand the interactions much better after watching some proper guides instead of just reading the thing on Wowhead, because I don't know, man. Just it doesn't really stick in my brain when I just watch the Wowhead build thing. Sure, it gives you all the info, but I feel like I still don't really get it. So maybe it's just me being a dum-dum. But yes, we want to do tier 8. So the plan is do 4 tier 8 delves, the bountiful ones, and then go straight into a normal mode raid where we will try to get some tier pieces, so I don't have to waste catalyst charges on champion pieces, which right now I only have 1 hero piece and a bunch of champion pieces, so that's no bueno. I don't want to do that. Now we must observe the ancient customs of delve loot gathering, which is first you collect the gold. Obviously, you have to collect the gold first. Then you have to collect the mislaid curios. There's 3 of them in here, from what I can see. There's 1, 2, and a 3rd one there in the corner. Once you collect those, what you need to do is you need to grab the left bountiful heavy trunk, the right bountiful heavy trunk, the nemesis strongbox, and then the bountiful coffer. And if you had the hidden trove thing, you would grab that next, but we don't since we did our stuff, and we get a champion held in offhand. I mean, that's not horrible. I have a 2-hander, so I can't really utilize it, but we'll slap it down here. You know, who knows? Maybe I can make some use of it at some point, although I do believe I'm going to be crafting a 2-hander, so this isn't particularly useful. So on we go to the next delve, which I think is Kriegwall's Rest. I'm not 100% sure. And yes, I know I can right-click myself and just leave delve that way. I know. Take it easy. 2-hand intellect staff. Okay, I mean, that's something. I'll use that instead of what I have right now. It's 1,000 extra intellect. Why not? But I do believe I will be crafting anyway. And here, this time I'll do right-click and leave delve, so people in comments don't yell at me. Ooh. Another cloak, this one with haste verse. Nothing particularly amazing, but at least it has a bit of haste. I'll slap it down here with the other potential gear I might be using. Alright, so I'm slowly but surely losing my mind in delves, and I just did some math, guys. It turns out I don't need to do any more fucking delves. I can just go and do the raid. So, the reason is, I can craft a weapon with 2 sparks, bracers, which are my only veteran piece. Well, not my only. The other veteran pieces I could replace with crafted gear at 645, so I could just craft that. Also, one of them, which is probably going to be the belt because it gives the most stats, I will craft with the enchanted rune Undermine crest and put the embellishment on it to empower the weapon embellishment that I'll be using, which is the Ascension one. Apparently Dawn Thread lining is the best thing to get, which is the crit one, I believe. So maybe I'll opt for that instead of the weapon enchant, but any uptime thing that's like % health based, I don't really trust, because then I need to trust in my healer to actually keep me at high enough HP to keep that going. So I think I'm just going to rock the Ascension one and call it a day. So yeah, even though there's one more delve for me to do, I am not going to do any such thing, because delves as a Devastation Evoker, let me tell you right now, it is not fun. It's just getting punched in the face for more than half my health over and over again. Even at 640 item level, it is not fun. So we're going to head over here and we're going to do some crafting real quick.
One eternity later.
I just realized I was muted while I was explaining what I was doing here with the recrafts. Dang it. Okay. Once I had gotten all of my gear, I was at a point where I could upgrade my existing other champion pieces to 4 out of 8. That's what I did. And I got the Carved of the Undermine achievement, which means everything was at 645 item level, meaning I can't use carved crests anymore to upgrade. What I then did was I turned my weathered crests into carved crests, my carved crests into runed crests, and then I used those runed crests to recraft all of my items that were not already crafted with a enchanted runed crest. This boosted me all the way to 650 item level. I'm sorry, that was I'm so irritated at myself. I had the microphone muted and I explained all of that. But anyway, there was also something else I pointed out, which is that this might not be worth doing for you. It's worth doing for you if you have a shit ton of gold. If you don't care about gold, it's great, it's fine. It also might not be worth doing for you if you have very good items, which you want to upgrade using a discounted Runed Crest upgrade. The way you get the discount is if you have Ruined of the Undermine achievement on one of the other characters. So if you outgrow the use of Ruined Crests on one of your other characters, on this character or any new character, you will have 10 crests per upgrade rather than 15, which means for 40 crests you can fully upgrade an item from champion 4 out of 8 to champion 8 out of 8 or the equivalent of that. So that is more efficient than recrafting from 645 to 658, because that will cost you 45. But again, 5 crests here or there doesn't matter. I chose to recraft things because I know I will be holding on to these items no matter what. So I am guaranteeing that I'm not wasting any of my crests by upgrading these, rather than upgrading random items I might not be wanting to keep. Now, the last thing I want to do before we head into the raid is actually get my... No, never mind. I lied. That's not actually what I want to do. I was going to say I'm going to go and get my, what's it called? My 4-set, but I don't think that's a great idea. I don't think it's going to be what I do, because I might be getting a piece of tier gear from the raid. At 650 item level, I expect to be invited into the raid comfortably. But before I do any of that, I have to fix this stupid transmog, because this weapon is not transmogged and it's bothering the crap out of me. There we go. That's much better. All right, now it's time to actually find a raid. I'm just going to fast forward through the raid and see if I get anything. If I do, great. If I don't, still great. 650 is more than enough to get started with M+. Again, my goal, well, I say again, but I haven't actually pointed it out. My goal for today is to get a +6 done so I can farm +6s on stream. My little rule about how I farm gear and how I do the streams is, it's a two-parter. The first part is I have to clear a key level before I can do that on stream. So I have to clear +6s before I can stream myself doing other +6s. And the other rule is if a key gives me rating, I don't actually do it with viewers. But if it doesn't give me rating, it's fair game. I just invite whoever. Anyway, I'm going to go fast forward through this raid. Hopefully I'll remember to record every boss. Alright, well that took a while, and now I have to go do 2, 4, and 6 keys, or rather, I don't know, maybe it's a 2, and then a 5, and then a 6, or maybe I just join somebody's 6 key, but I don't know if that's the best idea. Maybe I should just push up my key, I don't know. At 650, I feel like I could probably join a key, but let us see. We have one piece of gear from the raid, but it is very, very valuable. It is a shoulder piece. We're going to immediately just create it, because our shoulder is not a tier piece. We have 0 tier pieces, in fact. So we're going to immediately get this and equip it. I'm just going to go upgrade it to 4 out of 8 so that I'm not missing any item level from it. Should only cost me Valor Stones, which is fine. We also have a bunch of backup Valor Stones now, so I'm not too worried about it. Let me just really quick hide that shoulder piece because that don't look good on my Mog. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is when we want to tierify the rest of our gear, excluding our pants, obviously, because our pants already have good stats. They're very similar to what we would get from tierifying anyway, but we would get pretty much better stats on every single slot by tierifying them. So these are best left as they are. We have no improvement. The rest we will actually just tierify, and that'll give us 4%. We already have a shoulder. We're obviously going to tierify our hero piece chest piece because it's hero, so we're going to have it stick around for much longer. We luckily have, of course, enough of these catalyst charges to do so, so we are able to do this easy peasy. We'll also get another one for hitting 2k, so that'll be nice in case we get some myth gear from the vault, or if we get more hero pieces we want to tierify, or anything like that. So, with that done, we are still at 650 item level, but now we have 4%. Your damaging spells have a chance to hit a jackpot, launching a shattering star at 3 nearby enemies at 100% effectiveness. Casting Dragon Rage always hits a jackpot. Now, that's the 2 set. The 4 set says, casting Shattering Star or hitting a jackpot increases the damage of your next Empower spell by 25%, but it stacks up to 2 times. So, for our Dragon Rage, we want to make sure that we also have a Shattering Star beforehand. So we want to go probably Shattering Star, Dragon Rage, and then Breath. That's the idea. We want to combo the Breath with Tip the Scales to get the maximum amount of damage and not lose any of our dot damage to it. So I think it's really, really good if we 2-star it, or fully empower it and all that. So that's the idea behind our opener. I'm curious to see what effect this has on my opener. Let's go take a quick look over on the training dummies. So with the M+ build, the idea is we do Breath, then we pop a Firestorm, and then we do Shattering Star, Dragon Rage, Breath, and then we spam our double thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. Then we can I guess we can pop in one of these, what are they called? Not Shattering Star, Jesus. The other Eternity Surge, the one I don't even like pressing. I must forget about it existing. But yes, the idea is to get all that damage out right off the bat and make sure that you keep buffing that Fire Breath. And let's buff up Fire Breath. And I should have engulfed there while I had Shattering Star up, but that was just my mistake. I think we can still extend. No, we can't extend anymore. And that's the idea. So 5 million DPS, very nice. The burst was probably higher. I wasn't paying attention, but I feel like it was pretty dang good. So that's the idea. That's our opener. And every 2 minutes we can do it. All of our cooldowns sync up. It's beautiful. We have our Breath on a 2-minute cooldown, which gives us imminent destruction. We have our Dragon Rage on a 2-minute cooldown, which gives us all that stuff. Shattering Star comes up often enough. We definitely want to wait for a Shattering Star if we have Dragon Rage available. We want to wait for Shattering Star, but other than that, there's not much reason to delay anything. And of course, you always want to have Shattering Star available for your whatchamacallit, for Engulf. You basically don't want to use Engulf unless you have Shattering Star. So I will make a few adjustments to my WeakAuras, and then we're going to try and get into a key. But actually, no, hold on. I got my second Fractured Spark of Fortunes, so I will get another full spark, and I will craft myself a 658 cloak, which will further buff up our item level. Let me just really quick go over here, buy one of these, and then craft that. Once I craft that, I will also use the remaining ruined crests to upgrade things as best I can. So give me just a moment here.
A few moments later.
And there we go. We got our cloak. That is beautiful. Bumps us up 0 item level, but I do still like it. We do have some cloak enchants to slap onto that. And what is this? This is a boots enchant. Yeah, I think we just enchant these boots and call it a day. I think they will stick around for a while. I could make the argument that I should probably save my ruined quests for when I get hero gear, so I only have to upgrade 3 times to get to the same item level. If I get it from a 6, maybe less or whatever. But the idea is hero gear starts at 1 out of 6, and you have to upgrade to the same item level using rune crests. So I can upgrade hero gear fully with 30 crests instead of 40 with this to get to the same item level. But also, who gives a shit? I'm going to upgrade my hero piece, because I'm going to keep it for a long time. It's a tier piece. I'm not going to get myth out of anything because I don't do mythic raid, and the vault most likely won't give me a chest piece. If it does, great. If it doesn't, still great. One thing I just realized is that other item that I will upgrade, I guess with just 29 crests remaining, I might not actually upgrade anything because I can only get like 2 upgrades on an item. So maybe I should just save the remaining crests for when I have a hero piece of gear. It's not going to make a big difference for me right now. I think at 651 with 4 set, we are a-okay to get into some lovely, lovely +6 dungeons. I hopefully will get invited into a +6 dungeon, although somebody might go, ugh, Delver, and just not invite me. But honestly, most of my gear is from crafting. I didn't get much from delves that I wasn't going to craft. I can't really remember. I don't think I got anything from delves. Maybe one of the pieces I tierified. It doesn't even matter. Another fun thing is I do actually still have, hold on, where is it? This Radiant Emblem of Service. So I could potentially get a better trinket than Algari Concordance, or I could maybe replace, I don't know, some piece that has better stats. Actually, let's just jump on over there just to make sure that we make use of this item since we do have it. We're going to take the portal to Ashkahet, and then we're going to fly up into Hellowfall going this route, because otherwise we have to go through the entirety of the zone. This way we just end up kind of where we want to go. Alrighty, we're here at the vendors. There's some daily quests that we can do. That's for veteran gear. I don't care. Maybe rep, I guess I could care about. Let me just vendor all this stuff I know I won't be using. Get out of my inventory. Beautiful. And so what can we get? We can get this thing, the Shadowed Essence. I don't care about the Shadowed Essence. I don't think it's great. There's the Hallowed Tome, which is basically a stat stick, like a glorified stat stick, but I can choose the stat, so I can consistently keep getting the same stat that I want, which could be better than Sigil of Algari Concordance, which sometimes summons a dude who hits the mobs, he buffs you. I don't know. I think it's inconsistent what you get with Sigil of Algari Concordance. I could be wrong. Somebody please correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that this thing is just like straight up better because I get the stats that I want. I get haste or whatever. I could also look for some armor, like let's see, boots give haste mastery, mine give more haste and a bit of versatility. I kind of like my boots. The other pieces that are tierifiable have been tierified. The rest of the pieces have been crafted, so there's not much point in me getting any of the armor. Maybe I should get something for transmog. But actually what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this Hallowed Tome, and I'm just going to go ahead and equip that instead of the Sigil of Algari Concordance, because I just really don't like the sigil. It's inconsistent. I don't like that. If you didn't know, and I learned this, oh shit, I almost deleted this item I just bought. If you didn't know, you can flip to the next section, and that'll change which stat you get. So right now it's on cooldown because I just equipped it, but the use flip the next section thing is just so you can change the stats. So I could go to mastery, I could go to versatility, to whatever. I'm going to keep it at haste because haste is yum yum. I could sim it and see which one gives me the most or whatever. I don't even know if you can sim this item because it's like a piece of shit that nobody cares about. But yeah, we also have Funhouse Lens. I guess that's something that I did get from Delves, which was pretty nice. I think I got that from my first, which was great. And also, of course, I got the hero piece from Delves. I was mentioning earlier how I don't know if I got anything useful from Delves, but yes, I did. Anyway, we're going to hearth back to Dornogal, and then we're going to try to get into a +6 key after we upgrade this to 4 out of 8 champion. Here we go, 4 out of 8. That's 180 flight stones, or sorry, Valor Stone. I keep calling them flight stones randomly, but I don't mind because I have a bunch here. I have 650 Valor Stones here just ready to be used if I need them. So that is quite nice. There we go. Let's take a final look at our gear. Just a final quick look at our gear by using the Narcissus add-on. Our stat distribution is very haste heavy. I should probably move some of that haste into crit. I also want to move some of this. Oh no, I dropped a lot of verse. That's good. Think I should redistribute maybe some of this haste into crit and mastery, but we'll figure it out as we go along. This necklace might be replaced with a crafted necklace that has crit and mastery, and I drop a good chunk of haste. I think that would be a good way to distribute it evenly between crit and mastery, but we'll see. It has avoidance and all that, so maybe I keep it around for a little bit longer. Actually, I've used up all of my things, so unless this takes longer than 2 weeks, I don't know. But yeah, everything is enchanted with tier 3 enchants. Everything is gemmed and socketed with all of the gems we need for the stats we want and everything like that. We do have the correct, whatchamacallit, it's just all the stat thingies for Cersei's circlet. All in all, this character is as ready as it can be to start getting some ratings. So let's try to get into a +6 key. Hopefully somebody's just like, f it, they have item level, let's invite them. Because when you have 0 rating, a lot of people will go like, ew, disgusting, this guy does delves, and then they don't want to invite you because they think you don't know anything about anything, which is sometimes the case, I guess. But I don't have my rating linked, so they don't know that my other characters do have rating and do know what's going on. Anyway, I don't care which dungeon I do. I'm literally just looking for a 6 to 6. Ideally, I would get into a place that is very easy to do just so I can get my 6 done. And it would be great if I just really want that 6. At the same time, I kind of feel like maybe pushing up my key is the actual solution. Whatever, let's try to get into a 6. And then if it doesn't work, I'll just go and do my own key up to a 6. Push it up. Sorry, very rambly, very excited. I'm probably going to do horribly. We'll see. So as it turns out, we did get invited. We got invited by the warrior who invited me, and then I say hi. He goes, one question decides if I kick you or not. Have you played that dungeon? Because it's hard. It's a +6 workshop, by the way. So my guy has been through the ringer. I guess I could have just said yes, this is an alt, or just said yes, I have. But like my rating's not linked, so I don't know. Was this cheating? I have no idea. But still, it was really funny. And then when the tank joined, he was like, "Tank, I have a question." And then the tank turns out to have a 13 cleared. So I think he kept this question to himself. I said, good question. And he said, please don't leave. So my warrior friend has been through some shit, but we'll see how this run goes. I don't know. I'm pretty optimistic. It's a 6. It can't be too horrible, you know. Famous last words. But I think we're gonna be okay. I'm currently running a build without Source of Magic because I prefer to have Terror of the Skies and stuff like that. So for now, we're just gonna run it like that. We also have Forger of Mountains, which makes our landslide that much more powerful. I think it's good for Priory. Oh my goodness, no countdown timer, no nothing. My meta. But yes, we're getting started with a +6 workshop. I do have rescue. Do I rescue the tank forward? He's mounting up on his little horsey horse. We're going to go ahead and let him do that. Let's see how big he pulls. I'm assuming you want to... I probably don't want to bloodlust this. Now he's pulling in 2 groups, so we're going to do this. Shattering Star probably should have gone out before the Dragon Rage, but that's okay. We managed to get all of our damage out. I'm going to knock these guys up to prevent that nonsense from going out. I didn't drop my Firestorm because I felt like I didn't have time to do so. Totally not because I forgot about it. No, it's not that. Also, I kept my Fire Breath there. I did start casting it, but I canceled it just so I have it for this pull. We're going to go ahead and use a Shattering Star here. Then a max rank Fire Breath will do the trick. And then this. There we go. By this, I mean we're going to use our... Oh, goodness. Do I have knock up? No, I have to knock him back. I know it's annoying. But that guy needs to get interrupted, and I don't have an interrupt for it. Okay, I need to put Fire Breath back up. I'm focusing on making sure we live rather than focusing on my damage, but it's not like my damage is suffering too much for it. I need to keep moving, not get hit by these circles. Somebody did, in the end, interrupt all of these nasty little shits, so they get to die without blowing up, and we get to live thanks to that. Sent my Fire Breath there because it doesn't matter. These guys take 2.5 hours to get into combat with you, so I don't mind not having Fire Breath up right away. Decent damage. I could have probably done more. It was a bit hectic there because I was like panicking, will I have to do things or not? But, you know, what? Or tank... or group lead is trying to tell us which one to kill first, but my guy doesn't quite realize that you're supposed to kill him at the same time. Okay, now it's time to touch balls, as the WeakAuras I've made says. You gotta touch balls. If you touch balls, you'll have a better time. Foe Flipper comes out. We're going to immediately cancel that by using our glide thing. We have our engulf being empowered by a lovely whatchamacallits. Oh my goodness, I'm just kind of freaking out because there's stuff happening. I've only done this with training dummies, okay? I'm a little freaked out right now. I think he's about to get bonked. He did not, in fact, get bonked. Our tank moved over to the other side. Let's try and get our damage out now. Again, I failed to use my Shattering Star at the right time, but we can tab target. I can't use a second engulf, so it doesn't matter. I haven't explained what I'm exactly doing, but I'm just trying to get my burst combo out at the moment. And again, one thing I didn't do is put down a Firestorm. Natty casted Firestorm in the meantime. These guys are not very stacked up right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on using Disintegrate. If they were stacked up, I'd be pyring anyway. I can't go and activate that for the tank because he had the circle, the tank buster on him. I think we managed to get both of these guys with the Fire Breath. We did. That's good. Let's try to get our engulf out on this guy. We're trying to get some more damage out onto the big guy. We need to kill the big guy. Our warrior friend is convinced that the cart guy has to die first, but that is not the case. You want them to die at the same time, otherwise they start doing ramping damage. The corpse is like putting on a big dot on us. We're going to use a self-heal, and we're going to use a defensive on top of it. Try to get as much value out of it as we can. Instantly getting rid of the plating. I'd love to see that. Very nice. And we take care of the first boss. Okay, that was a bit of a cluster because I'm still learning this spec. So having to do mechanics at the same time as trying to do my opener, not a good combination. It doesn't look very flattering for me at all. I think the next group I'm going to hold my cooldowns on because I won't have Dragon Rage up just yet, but I'd prefer to use Dragon Rage and all of it at the same time. So I think for this group, I'm going to go ahead and not send my cooldowns, which means I can just send my Fire Breath Natty, and then we're going to go ahead and just try to set up a big engulf here. I missed this big guy with Ah, that's so bad. I'm going to use a defensive here. I missed the big guy with my fire breath because he was kind of wonkily going back and forth, but I'll just engulf somebody else. It's fine. This is fine. I can get my fire breath back pretty quickly, so I'm going to go ahead and just use that. I'm not going to spend any more resources because the next one I do want to actually... Ah, shit. And then I go ahead and I use my star. Yeah, dang idiot, you dingus. Okay. Did that guy just appear out of nowhere, or am I stupid? All right, let's fire breath forward. Or that's deep breath, not fire breath. Whatever. And we dragon rage. We accidentally pulled more than we intended to. That is unfortunate, but sometimes shit just happens. You know what I mean? We don't have a fire breath active, which means we do not use our engulf. We just wait for fire breath to be available again. We use it now. This was very poorly executed, but still I do 10 million DPS because apparently it doesn't fucking matter if you have a brain or not. When you play this spec, this is amazing. Okay, I'm trying really hard to do what I need to do here, but it's really not working out because I'm not very good. I'm getting very flustered because I'm just used to hitting the training dummies and raid bosses where you have everything lined up perfectly because you're constantly in combat. Why is this guy trying to min-max, bro? Like, you're clearing 6s and farming 6s. This tank has done 13s. Don't tell them how to play the game. Stay there with your tank damage and shush. Make yourself useful and touch my balls so I could keep DPSing. What? Like, I realized what I was about to say as I was saying it, so I'm just gonna tell him if he wants to tank, make a tank. Don't try to backseat game for people. Alrighty, group's trying to stay chill. All is well. We have big engulfs ready, so we're gonna do a double engulf here. That's gonna do a good chunk of damage. Just spamming the bejesus out of Pyre. Pyre is your best friend. Okay, on single target, maybe don't use Pyre unless you have this Pyre, which will cast a Firestorm. So we're going to do that. We're going to cast this Pyre even though it's single target because it'll cast a Firestorm, and why wouldn't we do that? All right, we have this thing. We have Dragon Rage. I'm going to go ahead and use all of my stuff. Not ideal. Really wanted to use that on Fire Breath, but oh shit, you know, whatever. Didn't realize I had my cooldowns available. We're going to go ahead and, oh goodness, we're going to take a lot of damage here. I managed to get there in time. We're going to make somebody touch our balls and move back out. That was pure panic, friends. That was pure panic. We're going to go ahead and use Fire Breath to make sure we maintain our Dragon Rage. I probably shouldn't have popped Dragon Rage there when we had to hide so quickly afterwards, but I'm going to step over to the side, stay in range, and all is well. Shattering Star is going out so often. I love this. It is wonderful. Okay, I can't do much more than you know, hide at this point because I can't actually hit the guy, but that's okay. On single target, I guess I can send some whatchamacallit, Shattering Star into my thing with the stuff. What's it called? Eternity Surge. It's not a damage loss. I think it might actually be the same. I have an engulf ready, but I need to put up all of my dots before I do that. I should have had a Shattering Star ready for engulf as well, but I have one for this. We're gonna go ahead and do that. I need to just hide. I really wanted to put a Fire Breath on to have the dot going while he's hidden from us, but I guess it doesn't matter too much. I'm trying so hard to commentate about what I'm doing, but it's just confusing the bejesus out of me. Okay, we have a Firestorm proc. I will use it even in single target. I don't mind. I did not put a Shattering Star up. That is my bad. Using Engulf without Shattering Star. But it's not a big deal. I'm doing okay. I'm not doing amazing, but I'm doing well enough. Just slam my orb into these guys. Make sure that they do their thing. I'm going to try and heal myself up a little bit here with my self-heal. As a dragon, I can stand up over here and then do this little skip. Okay, maybe try not to die to it, Vlad. That would be good. And then here really quick, we're going to turn off the fire for our friends and move on. Holy shit, I got burnt to a crisp almost. I do not like that. All right, while we wait for our friends, I'm quickly going to try and heal myself up using my actual healing abilities, which do next to nothing, but we may as well cast them because it's not like I have something to do while I wait for the tank and everyone else to show up. Our warrior and monk friends are taking a moment to catch up, but it looks like we're good here. We just have to wait for them a little bit, and that's okay. Tank's going forward. We're going to pull the bot. I don't want to use, well, I can use Disintegrate and like Living Flame, but I don't want to use any actual abilities until the mobs we do want to kill are all stacked up. I'm precasting Living Flame here. Our paladin friend probably could use a shield. We're not really stacking these up all that great. I guess I'll use Dragon Rage here and just go to town. I'm just completely messing up this this opener. This opener was atrociously bad, but who cares? We're going to go ahead and just use our engulf anyway. Still doing good damage, but imagine how much better it could be if I actually did my opener correctly. By the way, guys, there's probably already somebody commenting telling me how I should do my... I know exactly what I need to do. The issue is execution. I get flustered because I'm trying to commentate. If I get to just play, I can do it relatively well. So there is that to consider. Ooh, whoops, forgot. So I may or may not have forgotten to use Bloodlust. The warrior is asking if somebody has Bloodlust. I guess he doesn't know if evokers have Bloodlust or not, but it's my bad. I should have used it on the first boss. I even said I wouldn't use it on, I just forgot. We'll use... Why would I Bloodlust now, bro? This dies way too quick. I want to use Bloodlust and walk away with a bunch of time on it. Unless he thinks we can make it to last boss and have another Bloodlust, I don't think that's happening. But it's okay. It's whatever. It's weird. These pings are going out, but they're kind of confusing me. I guess they're meant to tell people which way to go, but it's you know. It's kind of like, I think they missed a bit, like their mouse went off to the side of the screen or something, so they didn't really get the ping where they wanted it. But we made it through. Now we get to watch everyone else kind of suffer through this stupid maze thing. Sorry, I'm commenting on things you might not be picking up, which is in the chat. Like the tank keeps I keep calling the warrior the tank. The warrior keeps saying things, and then I try to react to it, but I'm not sure if you look at the chat at the same time as I do, so it can be confusing what the hell I'm talking about. But yeah, I messed up and forgot that I have Bloodlust. There's 3 people here. We could go forward now. That guy's hiding in the exhaust thing in the vent. Now he's gotten through. Is our paladin friend coming? He is pretty dang far away. I think these 2 guys are pre-mades, by the way. So the Prot Paladin and the Red Paladin are pre-mades, and I think the Prot Paladin is trying to ping things for his Red Paladin friend who is a bit new to the game, or to these dungeons, I don't know. I think our friend is here waiting for the steam. He can try to sneak through, but that's kind of risky. It's better to wait for it to turn back. You kind of have to go as soon as that gap opens up. You have to go through it, otherwise you're screwed. But hiding in the steam is a surefire way to get through. You have plenty of time. Anyway, we're going to put focus on the Tinkerer. Since we're bloodlusting after the boss, I'm going to go ahead and do my thing here. My thing being max rank Fire Breath into double engulf. No, okay, the double engulf failed because I kind of did it wonkily. I cannot wait to do the stream. I'm gonna do a stream after this where I do 6s, just farm all the 6s up, and I'm just gonna shut up and focus on actual execution, because I feel like I'll do a lot better. I guess I can cast a res. I don't know if the healer wants to or not. I'm just going to cast it in case I have the most haste. The paladin probably has the most haste out of all of us. But there we go. We got things done. Gonna give them a quick heal, rebuff. There's a shout from the warrior. I'm just going to... We're bloodlusting after this, so I'm going to bloodlust later. But this thing we're going to try and focus on. Kill it. We can stun it with a Hodge. That would be preferable to just getting our shit pushed in by it. But that's okay. We're moving in this direction. I can cast... You fucking idiot. Okay, I didn't mean to cast hover like that. We're going to use a defensive in this, and we're going to do health pot after the next tick. Okay. We're being healed by our friend. Control F will health pot. There we go. That was my bad. Our friend got caught as well. Oh, I'm so annoyed. There's so many things going through my head. And I'm trying to do my rotation, but I'm doing it poorly. And I'm pissed. I'm pissed at myself. We do have a CR available. Whether we choose to use it or not is up to the Prot Paladin. He did use it. Now we hard switch to the plant. The plant should die quickly, so we don't need to Hodge it. We could Hodge it to completely prevent it from doing damage. It would be kind of nice, but that's okay if we don't. We're going to use our Shattering Star into an Engulf. I'm going to use a Hover while not moving. Last time I used it while moving, so I went through the damn thing, and it was very irritating and scary. But luckily, my friend, the healer, was able to keep me alive here. Okay, a bit of back and forth there. I almost missed the boss. We do have thingy available. What is it called? What is the thingy called? Dragon Rage. Yes, that thingy. That's what we have available. Let's wait until we have Fire Breath. Then we're going to do the full combo. Okay, the plant is over there. I'm going to try and hit the plant. Oh my... I'm trying to do too much, man. I tried to stun the plant with my breath. I should have just tried to use... Like, it's dangerous to use breath here, I think. But this is, yeah, well, we're learning. This is definitely a learning experience. We lost the Red Paladin again. The boss is at 24% HP. This oil spill thing is kind of preventing me from seeing what's going on, but that's okay. Tank and healer are now the only people left. The boss fight is relatively long at this point. We've been in combat for 2 minutes, so it's scaled up as much as it can with, I think, not as much as it can. What I'm trying to say is there is a point where there stops being more of these spinny boys, and the spinny boys is what makes the fight more and more difficult. Along with when you break a plant, I do believe this area like starts spouting fire. Our paladin tank friend is in a bit of trouble. Should have used spell warding possibly on himself to protect himself from the fire damage being done by this. This might be a reset if we don't get the hit. I'm just going to type in, you can stun the plant with Hammer of Justice. I'm just going to say that just so that people know that they can do that. That could be helpful to them while they're being beamed down by the plant, because that's going to be a bit of an issue. But yeah, the paladin got hit by 2 stacks of that thing, the beams, which was a bit of an issue because it does a bazillion damage. Now, Hammer of Justice should go down on that plant, but they probably can't read and play at the same time, which I completely understand. They can't take that new information in. Leg Sweep would also work, but it's shorter than Hammer of Justice, so Hammer of Justice would just be the superior choice here. Very much a clusterfuck at this point of the fight because there's just a lot of these cogwheels going around. Our friend, the monk, is trying his bestest to kill that plant, risking his life in the process. There's a lot of these orbs. They need to be collected, otherwise the boss is going to do more damage and also take less damage, which is the bigger issue. We're not really focusing on it. Monk takes care of the 2 that are over here. The Red Paladin's orb does not get soaked. We should just stay on the boss rather than dealing with that thing. I think staying on the boss is about the same. There's a few million more HP, but you don't have to move around. There's 2 people beating the shit out of it. We have a Touch of Death probably available. Touch of Death not available. The monk is not using it. He probably used it on a plant earlier, but the group should be able to take care of this, and then we can instantly release because we spawn right here. And release. Okay, friends release. They saw that I was here. We're gonna bloodlust this, and hopefully I don't mess everything up again. It's breath. I'm gonna bloodlust into breath into this. Hold on. Let me just shut up and actually do my rotation, which I still messed up, by the way, even though I shut up. Okay, whatever. We're killing things. Things are dying. That's what matters. I got all of my cooldowns, so I did a good chunk of DPS. People are running away from us with the orb. Kind of annoying, but the paladin takes care of it on his little horsey, and we are A-okay. So the issue I had there was I didn't use Engulf immediately after Fire Breath, so I didn't make use of the thing that consumes 2 seconds of Fire Breath to do a bunch of AoE damage. The healer is trying to tell the paladin DPS guy to use the shields for defensiveness. That is fine. We're going to kick this, and let's get started with a Fire Breath. These are all walking through me, but I did manage to hit them. I'm going to try and stand inside of the shields. Even for the squirrels, I'm going to use a defensive and still stand in it. All right. I don't trust this squirrel. The squirrel came out pretty soon after, like close to when the shields are about to run out. I should get a WeakAuras that tells me when the shields are going to run out, but I've been lazy about it and haven't done it. So yeah, anyway. Engulf goes out, good chunk of damage. I had Shattering Star up and everything, so that was kind of nice. I do hear jackpots popping off in the background, or in the noise of the game, which means I have Shattering Star on these enemies, which is great. That should also enable me to use Engulf whenever it's available. Okay, now we don't have really a way to skip this. We have no Soothe, no nothing, no Gate, no Warlock Gate, no nothing. I'm going to use Breath here, try to set up my Fire Breath. It doesn't matter if I use Shattering Star sooner or later, or it does matter. Ideally, I would use it correctly, but at a certain point, you just stop giving a f. I'm going to go ahead and use a defensive and just stand in this circle. I'm going to knock this back just to get this guy out of the shield so we can kill him sooner. I'm holding my Fire Breath here because we're about to go and fight the next group, and I want to have Fire Breath available for it right as we start. That wasn't a great use of my thingy thing with the stuffy stuff, but we got it. The thingy thing with the stuffy stuff being Dragon Rage. Not a big deal, though. Not a big deal at all. It definitely needs a lot of practice with this. I'm getting very strong Fire Mage vibes, but not in a bad way. Like, this is actually fun, and I'm doing good DPS, so I'm kind of happy with it. But I do believe that I'm going to need to practice this a whole bunch more before I'm able to actually get comfortable with it and do really well enough to go into, 13s and 12s and whatnots for the 3K rating that I want to achieve with this character. For the next AoE, I am going to use a defensive because, yeah, boy, don't got no shield to stand in. Use a defensive now, which should keep me relatively safe. and the thing dies before I have to really worry about it, so that works out quite well. Okay, no Bloodlust for this. We only used Bloodlust once this run because yeah boy may or may not have forgotten that he has it, because honestly I said that would happen. I knew it would happen. Okay, I'm gonna use my self-heal thing that heals me for the damage I take, because this is a dot. It's a great time to use it is when you have a dot on you. You use gonna try and get out of that by using hover. I didn't want to hover to the side because hovering to the side would have maybe put me off the edge, and I don't want that. So I stood still, used hover, and then moved because I could cast afterwards and get out of that circle and keep myself nice and safe. Okay, we do have a Dragon Rage available. I'm gonna wait for that to go out. Oh my goodness, this is scary. Dude, finding a good time to use Breath is like super difficult. Okay, Dragon Rage, Breath, Shattering Star. We're only going to do one in Engulf because we only have one Engulf available for right now, but when I get my next Dragon or Fire Breath, I'm going to go ahead and use the other Engulf. I also want to overlap it with Shattering Star, obviously. Keep saying that, but it's worth repeating. Very important to overlap these things. Okay, I am being targeted by this. I'm going to use hover and just beam it while moving away. Should be plenty. Have another Shattering Star up from our thing. We're going to lose our Dragon Rage to the stun, but I'm kind of okay with it. I managed to get a good chunk of damage in on this boss with my Dragon Rage. I don't think I'll get another Dragon Rage. Maybe. Minute 20. Probably need more time to kill this boss anyway. I wasted one of my Shattering Stars. Actually, I can still get the Engulf out. Not an ideal Engulf because I didn't have my dot from... Jesus. Using a defensive here. I didn't have my dot from Living Flame up, and your Engulf does more for each dot you have. Oh, this is pretty bad situation. I got beamed because somebody kind of jumped over to the side. I'm just going to use a healing potion here to try to recover. I need to get away from that thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. I keep moving while having... while pressing hover, and it's kind of scary. Okay, I do not want to get hit by this beam. Do not get hit by the beam, lad. Do not get hit by the beam. I'm going to use a defensive here. If I have one, I press the button. I don't know. I'm casting fucking Firestorm out of panic. I keep getting hit by other people's shit, and I get 2 stacks of the dot, and I have to live that. I'm trying to stand off to the corner. Maybe I should just stand in the middle, because people might be avoiding the middle. Like the melee might be avoiding the middle to give me space to play. So I think I'll try standing in the middle to avoid getting hit by other people's things. Guys wondering if we can rest. We unfortunately cannot, friend, because we've used up all of our CRs. But now the nice thing is I have thing with the stuffy stuff available. Oh, goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. I'm so confused right now. I'm just trying to do the mechanics and do my opener at the same time, or my big cooldown thing at the same time is not really working out. I die here because I'm too close to this thing, but I didn't really have a great way to move out of it. Should have used, whatchamacallit, Zephyr. I didn't have 2 stacks of hover. I could have hovered to the side, but the orbs were scary. I don't know, man. This is such a cluster. It's mostly my own fault, so I can't blame anyone for anything, but I am definitely, like, very confused as to how to execute my rotation perfectly while trying to do this. It's not simple for me because I'm not used to playing casters, but goddamn, I am really severely underperforming. Yeah, I'm topping DPS, but that doesn't mean I'm playing well. And topping DPS doesn't mean you're playing well. We're back down to the dynamic duo of the tank and the healer. They're ready to take on this boss for us as well, which actually might work out well because they could very easily predict where the orbs are going to go, and they could also avoid each other getting zapped. Our healer is getting hit by this orb that's glitching backwards here, unfortunately. That's kind of insane. I'm just going to ping these two. Oh, there we go. They take care of it. Now we're hoping that the healer doesn't get hit by the zap twice, because that is very hard for them to survive. But in this situation, I've seen it before, the tank will get zapped twice, pretty much always, no matter what. So hopefully that continues to happen. The tank can quite easily survive it, but the healer, maybe not so much. Healer does have external available. He might get hit by orbs here, because he kind of stepped into the middle of them as they're swapping sides, because that's the only places they have to go. They're always going to go to one of the player characters. So if you're standing on either side, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't stand in the middle when the orb swaps come in. But the big mech is dead. Little Mechagon comes out. They're going to beat the bejesus out of him. Hopefully we can touch a death or something if we didn't just use it now. The warrior is offering fellatio to the tank. because apparently timing sixes is crazy hard. Mecha Gun is going to go down. We're going to release because we spawn right here, and then we're going to go ahead and see if we get any loot. I don't expect to. Can you just stand still so I can take care of this? Thank you. Beautiful. Wonderful. Yes. Let me touch your balls. Touching everyone's balls here. Thank you. We get no loot, but I do get a 6 clear. That'll get me a better chance to get invited, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to leave before more people get handsy with each other or whatever, or fillety with each other. I'm just gonna leave. Oh man, that was definitely one of the runs of all time. Not the cleanest. I have so many glaring issues with both my rotation and my gameplay. I practiced, I swear to God, guys, I practiced on dummies, and I do know what my opener is and what I should be focusing on, but commentating, casting, surviving at the same time, kind of too difficult for my 2 brain cells. I only have 2. I can commentate and cast, or I can commentate and survive, or I can survive and cast. There's no other thing. At this point, I'm also not convinced I can cast and survive at the same time. But yeah, as you can see, I can do quite a bit more DPS if I just actually focus and get to do it. Maybe you can see that in today's stream, where I will be doing more +6 keys, where hopefully I don't embarrass myself again while I try to get myself some more hero pieces, also get some more ruined crests. Speaking of which, let's go spend some of these ruined crests. We have 40, that means we can upgrade a whole item all the way to 658. Which is going to be nice. Might give me an extra item level here. What do I want to upgrade? Let's say these pants. These pants have good stats. Let's just upgrade the pants. There we go. 652 item level now. Not a bad day. Not a bad day for Morningbreaf. I can't believe this is the first time I believe I mentioned that the character is named Morningbreaf. This name is courtesy of Danny. She decided that the character should be called Morningbreaf. Can't remember who it was, but somebody spent the channel points to name my character and then gave the gift of that to Danny, and she got to choose the name of the character. First, she wanted to go for Pepper Pooch, but then she decided since it's an evoker, it should be called Morningbreaf. Our next character will be called Mr. Bonk. This was decided by Lenny, also on the stream, obviously, by spending 25,000 channel points, or I should say thingy things, because that's what the channel points are called. Anyway, enough yapping. I'm just kind of excited because I do think I'm going to have fun with this once I actually sit down and, you know, get some practice in. I just haven't had enough time to actually play this character properly. But yes, shortly after this video goes live, I will be streaming some +6s. So if you want to see that, if you want to come laugh at me failing my opener, you can go ahead and do so. I will catch you there. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. Let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe because there's more episodes of Morningbreaf coming. If you want to see what happens between the episodes, you can check out the stream. If you can't make it to the stream, you can check out the live section of this YouTube channel or the VODs. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode. I do love the fact that I can soar like this. That is very, very, very cool.